Okay, here we go.
Good.
Welcome to Igniting Inspired Insight, a space for real conversations with beautiful humans. I am your host, Jae. I am a teacher, a guide, and a student of expanding and empowering energy and offering and exploring everyday wisdom. And we all have that truth within us. In each short episode, we explore 3 questions that open the door to reflection, resonance, and revelation. One question, we call this the common thread. I'm going to ask everybody. The next question is in the moment, so they don't know the question that they're going to be asked. And the third question, reflecting light, is them getting to ask me a question, and they may also answer that themselves. So here we are. This is a space for truth, trust, and the kind of insight that comes from simply being human. So let's dive in. I am super honored to share this space with my dear friend of, I don't even know how long, like maybe a decade? Yeah, maybe a decade. No, maybe not that long. Anyhow, she's currently in Victoria and I am in New Zealand, and it has been this way for us, sadly, for over 6 years, nearly 5 years. Yeah. But through the power of technology, we have a deeper connection that I could have ever imagined. And I'm so grateful. So it is an honor to have you here with me and to start this journey. So I'm going to hand it over to you. Who are you, my love?
I'm Jillian. Some people call me Jack. I am a human being on this planet having a very complex human experience. I'm just navigating a big transition in my life. And I'm really freaking grateful that our paths crossed when they crossed. And yeah, that the earth pushed us together.
Sure did. Sure did. We met on Vancouver Island, right? Later yoga training. And then next minute, we're in Bali. A lot.
Driving you and your can of tuna back to Victoria.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I love it. Those are best memories. So good. Alrighty, my love. So the common thread, the question I ask everyone, and one that everyone has a little moment to prepare and to consider, is what is one belief, moment, or experience that changed the way you see the world?
I mean, so many options. I think today what's like most present for me is not even a belief, but maybe an understanding of the courage that it took to walk away from a very loving, supportive human because I needed to love and support myself more.
That's a really powerful reflection of the peace that it took to make that choice for you, the courage. Yeah.
And I mean, am I the most proud of the way it all unfolded? No. And would I have done it differently if I could have? Yes. And I still chose me.
So with that beautiful, powerful moment and choice that you made, how does that change the way you see the world?
That you don't have to settle, that there's so much more out there. And not that I was settling, but there was something missing. There was something, a desire. There was maybe even, it gets wrapped up in the self-worth deserving category of deserving of something big and beautiful. And that's what's coming for me, is like a big, beautiful love that, I've had this, entry level love, and it was beautiful and amazing, and it got me here. And the next one is just going to be out of this world.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm,
that comes from an unwiring of thinking I deserve less than, or that I deserve certain things.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. As I was listening, and it's alignment with what you said then, was like it was expanding your capacity for desire and deserving.
Hmm.
And you and I
Yeah.
mean, that's what we're all about, right? In our lives, is like expanding that capacity for like, this is what I desire, this is what I deserve.
Yeah.
And getting the body and the heart and the self-talk online to support that, right?
Hmm.
In
Yeah.
alignment.
It's 100%. It was wild not even being conscious of maybe the self-talk for 33-ish years
Mm-hmm.
and being like, oh, damn, like I would never speak to my friends like this. And yet I'm the first person to be like, I'm going to use it as a protection mechanism to be like, if I can shoot myself down first, then no one else can get to it.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Ooh, that one's uncomfy, right?
Mhm.
When you see you're doing that to yourself, you're like, fuck.
Right. It's like, okay,
Wow. Yeah.
that
And
mirror is bright.
yeah. Well, and then when we take a minute of that, like, oh shit, we get to use that for fuel for a change, right?
Hmm.
Mm, that's so beautiful. And so when you say that that is one of the moments that change the way you see the world, what are the pieces that you now believe that you desire or deserve that you didn't before?
Um, that I'm worthy and deserving of love, and I'm worthy and deserving of someone to put in the same amount of effort or self-reflection as that I will,
Mhm.
because I mean, I started regular therapy counseling 9 years ago, and I went because I was tanking my relation, or I wasn't tanking my relationship. I felt I was watching myself sabotage my relationship. And I could see how much I was hurting him.
Mhm.
And then through that, I stayed for me.
Yeah.
And so that is the one of the pieces is like, oh, I'm worthy of being here to work on this for myself.
Mhm. Yes.
Um, yeah. So it's a daily practice. It is practice and
Yeah.
practice and practice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And because I love you and because I know you'll be up for this, I'm going to ask you. Like, so more than that, like now that your level of capacity for desire and deserving has expanded,
Hmm.
what's possible for you? What do you want?
Oh, fucking everything.
In
I
love,
want it all.
in love.
In love. I want I want the love story love. I want the real the real deep connection where you know each other's shadows and you fucking love them for it.
Mhm.
Not for their potential and not because they're a good person, but because you see the dark and the light and you love every part of them. And I want to be loved for every part of me.
Mhm. That's beautiful. Yes. I just had to go there because you know what it's like. We want to name it and claim it and be in that worthiness. So thank you for answering that for me. And
I
I feel
fucking
that.
love love, so bring it.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. And you and I both know when we do this work, we get to this new level of like, that's my birthright. I
Mhm.
get to have that. And I'm gonna work until I do. And what I
Yeah.
mean by work is like look at the pieces that are holding me back from that. And I know that you know that what that means. Oh, I hope that that
I'm
sparks the joy for some people.
I mean, I will be the first to take radical responsibility for my part, and
Yeah.
almost too much so, and so that's finding the balance. But yes, it is. biggest lessons in it is like, what is my part in this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not being the victim.
Well, I think as women, that's where we need to be. It's like I was thinking about this yesterday. So you sparked my curiosity. It's like that balance of taking radical responsibility, but not slipping into that judgment and measuring of your behavior and is it enough? Because we're wired for that.
Yeah, you
Yes.
can quite easily go into like the people pleasing and the fawning and the all of the things. And it's like, no, this is mine to hear. And I can love you to yours, but yeah.
And I'm going to make some mistakes. And can we come along for the ride with that too?
Oh my God, the grace for getting it wrong.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we got to get it wrong to get it right. That's what I believe.
Hmm.
To know what's truly right within us. Yay, thank you so much for sharing that. I love that. Ah. So now we get to move on to the next portion, which is a second question, and it's in the moment. So Jack doesn't know what I'm going to ask her. So you get to take a second. But I love this question, and it's so for you. I was dialing into my intuition before we got on this call. I was like, that is for her. So, what lights you up, and how do you stay connected to it? So, again, what lights you up, and how do you stay connected to it? And some of us, when we hear that question, might be like, it's that, but I don't do it. Whoops. Or you do. Over to you.
What lights me up and how do I stay connected to it? People light me up. And that's so fucking easy to stay connected to. No, it's I love people and I think it's one of my strengths and potentially don't want to say weaknesses, but is my compassion and empathy for people and understanding that everyone's just having a human experience and we have no idea what's happening in their life. But I love making people feel special and seen. And I love seeing them experience joy and happiness and wonder. And so I try and surround myself with as many wonderful freaking humans as I can. So I get to experience that through them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you get to do that in your work as well,
Mm-hmm.
which is a really powerful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you, I'm hearing it, but how do you stay connected to it? The piece of that that lights you up, how do you stay connected to it?
I think it's making a conscious effort to like get on your mat with it. It's like, oh, where am I looking for? Like I'm scanning for it all the time now. It's become a habit of like I'm scanning for the human experience, the kindness, whatever it is. And I find now it's a natural habit to, if I'm not experiencing it, to create it.
Mm-hmm.
And that sounds really, I don't know, fluffy, but like it could be as simple as like when you're at a coffee shop, having an actual conversation, like genuinely asking the cashier of how their day is
Mm-hmm.
and engaging with them and seeing the shift in energy for them is how it fills my bucket.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're like super clear on the why and the
Mhm.
connection, and that's what draws you to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel that. That's beautiful. And it's such a currency for energy in too, right? In
Mhm.
that energy exchange, like that's something that's just so, there's such reciprocity in that.
Yeah.
And as you and I have talked about in many ways, and that's why we're friends, um, being that light for others is just such an honor. And it's
It
that
really,
honor and that honor, but also what I hear from you is like a deeper level of awareness that that is a piece and part of you, and that you get to do that, as well as your gratitude and appreciation for that. And
yeah,
that I think that's also a way that you stay connected to it is that appreciation.
it is. Honor is a good word. Privilege as well. That
Mm-hmm.
someone wants to share something with you,
Mm-hmm.
that they let you in, even if it's just like a little, just a moment,
Mm-hmm.
because they don't
Yeah.
have to.
Mm-hmm. And neither do you.
Yeah.
But through blessing and through intention, you choose to,
Hmm.
because you're conscious and
That's,
you're making choice to do that.
yeah.
Yeah. So and the reason why I say that, like because you're conscious, is because I think about, people might be like, oh, I don't do that. And it's like, well, it's because you're not necessarily yet aware that that's an opportunity for you.
Mhm.
Mm. So when we're conscious of that, it's like this is an opportunity. Every moment is an opportunity, and that's a piece that lights you up. It's like next level.
It's it is wild because it's like the butterfly effect, right? You know that it's going to ripple onwards
Mm-hmm.
because it happens if it's a negative impact. So why not make it a positive impact? And it could be as simple as the interaction of speaking to someone or just speaking, like saying you like someone's outfit genuinely,
Mm-hmm.
not like, but genuinely from of like, oh man, like I complimented a random couple the other day of just like they were so interesting looking, and I was like, I in the most beautiful way, I was like fascinated, and I just had to tell them.
Yeah, I love that. It's so cool. It just being in communication with people. Do you know what like popped into my head? It was random. It's in the States. I'm cruising around. Someone's like short $1, and I'm like, here you go. And like I didn't even think. It just flicked it their way. And the way they turn around with surprise and were just like, oh my God, we need more humans like that in the world. And to me, I'm like, that was just like such a small, like
Mhm.
knee jerk, like, of course.
Yeah,
But it didn't, I hadn't until that moment. And I love that it's still with me actually, that moment, but like considered those moments of impact and just how long a little can go, how far.
yeah,
Mm, it is free.
so free.
Well, I mean, that
So
one cost me $1, but I didn't see it that
yeah,
way.
but that's the thing is like, okay, so you
It
play
didn't
it out.
cost me anything, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, you play it out, and it's like that person's day is like genuinely, you give them a genuine compliment of
Hmm.
something that you truly appreciate about a stranger, and they receive it because it is up to them if they want to receive it or not. Some people do not, and that's okay. Um, but then that person, skips through the day, and like then that, interaction might impact someone else, and you just don't know who it's going to land on, who might just need that moment of kindness to crack open like the dark tunnel that they feel like they're in right now.
Yeah, I agree. And when, like, in considering that now, I'm like, when I said like it cost me $1, and then I was like, no, it didn't. I'm like, it was actually the act of kindness that was far more than the money for them because of the
Mm-hmm.
reaction. I was like, well, I mean, the dollar helped, but also the like that moment of like acknowledgement was like, woo! And yeah, I see that also in like, and I think about this a lot when I see older people who, and I consider like maybe they're on their own,
Yeah.
because there are a lot of older people who now live on their own, or they don't see a lot of people because there's less going on in their world. And so I like, if I can take a moment, and the way they light up, if you give them a smile or you say hello or you stop for a minute, and it can just be a minute. I love that. You're reminding me of like the joy of that. So good.
It's
Here's
so
more
good.
of that.
Mm-hmm.
Here's to more of that.
It's so easy.
So easy. Yeah. So here we go. Segment number 3. This is one we flip the script and I don't know what you're about to ask me. So this section I call Reflected Light. So again, we said a little prayer actually before we started this podcast in just letting what is true for us come through for us and that be in higher service for whoever's listening. So here we go. What question you got for me, my love?
It's interesting. I was on a little walk last night, having a little moment, and I made a joke to who I was walking with. And I think this is the question for you as well, is like, we saw some teenagers walking down the street, and it's a Friday night, and we are like, what advice would you give them? And it's like, what advice would you give them?
What advice would I give teenagers walking down the street? You know, I think it's riffing off our last chat a little bit, but like just really deeply appreciating the moment you're in and the people you have and being in the fullness of life. So whatever is going, because I know, well, I remember what it was like. Being a teenager is very self-absorbed. It's like, it's all about me. Like I'm trying to figure out me in the world. And so not in a bad way, self-absorbed, but like, this is where I need to be, like in my frame of mind. And so I think it would be that. It would be, yeah, being in the, just like really embracing all of the possibilities of the world in this very moment and seeing possibility instead of problem, because we're and really bringing them into a level of appreciation and celebration, because that piece is like, that piece will take you everywhere. And it's something that we don't necessarily catch on to without practice and without a level of support. So there's that, I think. And then I think the big piece, and I'm thinking about like teenagers in this day and age, is just really being in consideration of the impact of your actions towards others. So like flipping that, like understanding how you're, and I'm thinking about within their own peers and within people their own age, is like, yeah, what your action, how your actions can ripple out. Because I don't know that there is enough consideration for that. And again, I know that that's not really where their head's at, but like, just like take a few steps and realize like what that moment or what that choice or what those words could, because it's not just about the other person. It's like those choices that you make in that moment will shape who you are, because that might create guilt. It might create shame. It might change the energy of how you need to be in the world. So that, I think that's a big piece for me. And I think that comes from being on the receiving end as a teenager of that. But also because I didn't have that appreciation for the people in my world, or what I did have, that when I was receiving the not so nice actions or the not so nice words, or that became my truth.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have those anchors, and that, again, that like, oh, I've got this person, or I've got that place, or I've got this tool I love, or I've got this dance. Like I didn't see it for what it gave me. It didn't help me stand strong in what I was receiving that wasn't positive. I never really considered that. So I fucking love that question.
I was going to say, can I have a follow-up question?
Yes.
Does your advice change if you're talking to yourself?
Yeah, well, I think I was. To some degree, I think I was talking to myself, or at least like there is an influence of the impact. However, I think that the piece about like understanding that your actions can ripple out, that's very much for now and what I see now. especially in like, because we didn't have social media, we didn't have like access to like be so unkind to so many people. So that piece, but does my advice speak to myself? Definitely in the aspect of like not really seeing what I had. Like my world at that age was like what I didn't have and what wasn't good enough. I mean, and we're still working on that at like 30 years down the track, you know? So, yes, that I think it's the same for sure. Um, and I think, but the piece that I would add for myself as a teenager would be all about loving my body. And I understand that at that age I didn't have, because of my childhood experiences, I didn't have the tools to be in my body. So I needed some help in that area, obviously. But for those who maybe don't have that level of disconnection from the body, just enjoy it. Like have fun with it and take care of it like this vessel. And the sooner you do that, the sooner you'll come into your truth and your centered alignment, I think. So that's what I'm telling my younger self. It's like, just love on the body. Yeah.
Amazing.
And so, is it similar or different for you? Your advice of what you would give to, I'm going to go straight into what advice you would give to your teenage self.
So many. I want to like just pick
Lift
her
it
up,
on
be like,
off it.
list it all off. Be like, but if I had to choose, I would want to set her up for success. I hate saying it like that, but success. I'd want to be like, work on these things, this container of like the same. We have a similar, upbringing or childhood experience, not upbringing, but understanding how powerful the mind is, understanding your emotions and how to recognize them and name them and process them and feel them, and how they are a blessing, not a weakness.
Being a reflection of life.
Yeah, I wish I could teach her all of the little things that it's taken 42 years to unravel. But my advice would be this too shall pass. And that, and like, I think it's Tom Hanks who does the like, this too shall pass. It's like, okay, this is a beautiful moment. It's joyous. It's happening. Happy. This too shall pass. This is scary and overwhelming, and you think you're going to drown. This too shall pass. And it's just like the dichotomy of like enjoying the moments that you have, and also knowing you're not going to drown. You're not going to like collapse or break, or you might feel like, but it doesn't last.
Yeah. It's so beautiful to remember that, because especially as a teenager, whatever's going on is like your whole fucking world.
And you just like get to high school and you're just like, oh my God, get me out of this place. And it's just like, now you're like, God, I just to give you another moment of like no responsibilities or taxes, or you know what I mean? Like stupid stuff that's like
The human
adulting.
adulting. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I hear
Yeah.
you. Yeah. And in reflection with that, I think that the way the world is at the moment, like there's so much that the order of life and like the like the length of within our life of like, say we live 80 years. There's so much that goes on in that early world, like trying to decide who you are and go through puberty and decide who you want to be education wise and all of that. It's just like, I really think that the order in which we've created for a teenager, like what they need to be within their life is a lot of freaking pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be really like that can bring us again out of that level of like what authenticity. Yeah. I love that question. That was really beautiful. Thank you. And I love that through that we got to have some conversations with our teenage self, because you and I know the power of that. I've worked with many versions of me, previous versions of me, and now they've all come to the party and we're along the ride, and I scoop them in with love. But understanding that and getting to share that with you is really beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm just so honored to be here with you and to share this time. And I know that we'll do more. I really do. And I hope that it inspires some other people in some way. So we're going to come to a close. So I want to thank anyone and everyone who's been listening or watching this podcast, and for joining us in another, moment of igniting inspired inquiry, and understanding like the biggest piece of it, intention for me, is like we all have this powerful wisdom within us, and we all have this truth. And I think we seek it outside ourselves. We think that someone else has that knowledge and that wisdom, and it's like, well, it's actually in here. And through this truth and through sharing and experiencing these conversations, we get to understand that. But also here, we're not alone. So there could be people of all ages listening to this and really reflecting on pieces of their life, and that help maybe the healing, or maybe just contemplation, maybe new conversations with people around them. So really, if this speaks to you, especially some of the topics that Jack and I talked about, I encourage you to share that with a friend, or again, maybe listen to it with someone that you love and let that inspire your own combos. And until next time, stay open, stay grounded, and let your light, as we have done today, guide the way. Ciao for now.